Did someone request a nail doctor?
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it.
Hello lovelies, welcome back to the Lux House. It is 9 Lux Nails, and today we have a fill-in for you guys. I have a client that needs several repairs. We have one that's also missing the tip, so I'm going to show you how to repair that nail without removing the entire tip. When doing a fill-in, I always like to start with my ceramic drill bit. It is an extra fine drill bit and it's just going to remove all of the polish. This is a pretty quick process, so I'm going to let you guys watch as I use my Valentino drill on a speed of 5 RPM and just lightly remove the old design from her nails. Now this ceramic bit is a fine bit, but I do not use it on my client's natural nails. As you can see, I'm only allowing this to touch the acrylic because it is a bit harsh. Putting it on the natural nail, it will take the entire nail off. So it is soft enough to use on acrylic and gel polish, but please do not use this bit on your client's natural nail. This ceramic bit is also perfect for debulking, so when doing a fill-in, I do like to remove some of the excess bulk from the back of the nail, which is where the cuticle line would be, because with doing a fill-in, I'm going to create a new cuticle line, and I don't want the apex to be so high and so tall and strong that it just gives a really fat, bulky look. So I am taking the time to not only remove the gel polish, but also debulk the nail enough so that once I apply new acrylic, it is not larger than it needs to be. On the ColourPop video that I just uploaded, I would like to say thank you guys so much for how well that video did. I know the design is something new that everyone has not seen. I got so much positive feedback from that video, and I just want to thank everybody that subscribed, that shared, that saved the video, or even gave it a thumbs up and left a comment. You guys really ate that video up, and I just love it. Like, not only did it get 15,000 views, but it also gained me about 900 more subscribers. So thank you guys so much. I reached 2,000 subscribers. That is a huge milestone for me. I have been doing these videos for quite a while, and I just love that they are finally being seen. So thank you all so much for joining my family. I love giving y'all tips, tricks, and everything to make your nail career more fun and easier for you. And even if you aren't a nail tech and you're just a nail enthusiast, there are people that just love to watch and see what we come up with. Nail techs are artists in their own right, and I just want to thank everybody that is tuned in to everything that I have to offer. So thank you. And don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video, because the design that's coming after this fill-in, girl, chef's kiss. So I'm going to zip it and let you guys watch as I continue to remove this polish. Again, I am using my Valentino drill on a speed of 5 RPM, and I am using a very fine ceramic drill bit to remove this polish. Also, I did see a request on the ColourPop video to do a review on the Valentino drill, so stay tuned because that will be coming soon as well. Now, if you are new here, then you don't know, but for those of you that are return subscribers, you know that I use the Extreme Diamond Gel to adhere my stones. These girls do not move. I don't care what my clients do in their life. Once they leave my chair, the stones leave and they come right back to my chair. So as you can see, I'm having a hard time getting those stones off. That's because that Extreme Diamond Gel really works. It will hold a car together. It will hold your life together. It's the best glue ever, and I have used several glues. This one, absolutely, I'm never changing from it. So I'm trying to get those stones off. Yes, I do use an old cuticle clipper just to clip and loosen the glue from around the sides, but it's a struggle. Like I always tell my clients, the stones is not going to be the problem. If the nail stays on or if it breaks, that's one thing, but that stone is going to stay right where I put it. So I had to use my clippers and we got that off, and now we proceed to remove the polish. Now the first step of the fill-in process is completed. We removed all of the gel polish from all of the nails. Now I will go in with my sanding band. This is a medium coarse sanding band, and I use this on a speed of 4 RPM. So I use the ceramic drill bit on 5 RPM just to give me a little more power. But since I am using this bit on, or using the sanding band on my clients' natural nails, I don't want it to go too fast or to be too harsh. So I am simply using it on 4 just to remove the shine, and I'm also going to go down the body of the nail and remove any indentions, any shine, any polish that I had left. So yes, this is a tedious process when doing a fill, but you want to make sure, just as the start of a full set, that nail foundation is super dry and super clear from any oils. So even looking at this nail, you can tell I am doing it justice by using this sanding band, and that allows my acrylic, once I apply it, it will melt into the previous acrylic like butter. So if you don't do this process, then you will see a division in your acrylic, and you will know, okay, that bottom nail was still very slippery and the top layer of new acrylic has not gripped to that previous acrylic. So if you don't properly buff or sand the nails, they will not merge together successfully, and you will have more problems on the back end. I always hear in the nail community that a lot of people do not offer fill-ins, and it's because they aren't aware of how to properly execute a fill-in so that the client still is able to get longevity with the set. And that all comes from prep and foundation. Always, 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 whether you're doing a full set or a fill-in, the prep and foundation is a major key. Make sure that nail is free from any oils, and oils are in gel polish. So once you apply polish to a nail, it is a slip layer that is left behind. So make sure that you remove all oils from the nail prior to acrylic application, and it will save you so much time. It will save you headache from your clients coming back and saying, hey, my nail lifted, or this is separating, or I have a fungus underneath my nail. It all comes from your prep. So take this very serious, and just make sure that you are getting all the nooks and crannies before you apply any acrylic to the nail. For the fingers that have no nails, I will do the prep on those as I would starting a full set. So I'm just starting by removing the shine, and then I will apply the tips and do the acrylic just as I would a full set. Now with this nail with the broken tip, I did not go through the process of soaking that nail off and applying a new nail, because honestly, no matter if you're doing a soak off for 1 finger or 10 fingers, it's still going to take about an hour. So to avoid having to do that, I simply debulked this nail at the tip all the way down to the point of it being a nail tip again. So if you look at this nail closely, it does have a very deep slope, because I'm going to apply the acrylic back on that tip. And you guys know I always preach on acrylic control. If you're a nail tech, you control that acrylic. So I do not need to put another tip on this nail. I can simply build up the acrylic just as I would on a nail form or anything where you don't have to use a nail tip. So again, I debulked that tip all the way down to the point of it being very, very thin, and I'm just going to build that edge back on the tip. So remember, we remove all of the excess shine from the nail so that our new acrylic can adequately adhere to the old acrylic. And you will see then in the end that it looks brand new, like it was never missing. So now for the fingers that does not have any nail or acrylic, I'm simply sizing my tips by making sure they fit from sidewall to sidewall and that it's not too big or not too small. So this client does not cut the tips whatsoever, so we will be using the full length of the tips. And here I go breaking my own rule. Normally I would use the e-file to do my shaping on the tip, but since we are going for an almond shape, I'm only using my straight edge clipper to guide me to my almond shape. So I'm not using them down the entire of the nail. The nail fits her finger perfectly, so all I have to do is simply remove the tip, and then I will go in with my e-file to proceed the shaping, because it is an extra long tip. Now with my e-file and my sanding band on a speed of 4 RPM, I'm simply going along the sides of the nail and creating my almond shape so that it matches the other nails that we already have. And I'm also going to use this same speed of 4 to merge the nail tip into her natural nail. So I will do that on all of the fingers that I apply the tip to, and then we will be ready for acrylic application. Off camera, I did go ahead and complete the fill-in on the other nails, as well as apply the acrylic to the nails that needed a repair. And now we are here at our broken nail, and I wanted to show you guys how I did that repair. So I am specific about doing the fill-in first before doing the front, because I want to use my apex as a guide for how I want the nail to be shaped. So I will go ahead and do the fill-in at the back. Again, I did debulk the nail so that I can rebuild the apex in the proper place, and then I will proceed down the nail with more acrylic so that I can do the reattachment of the tip. So as you can see, I have an eye on my apex, and now I can go in with a large bead of my acrylic and build that tip back up. I do like to take a lot of the liquid out of my tip so that I can have that acrylic control. If your bead is too wet, it will run all over the place, and you will take more time trying to catch the acrylic versus molding it. So I sit my acrylic right where I want it to start, and as you can see, I'm blending it in like butter with the rest of the acrylic, and then I'm just going to mold it down to the front, and out of nothing I'm going to create my same shape. So moving it around, lifting it up to stay in place, just really playing with that acrylic and controlling the acrylic so that I can get my tip back on this nail. I'm putting it side by side with this nail to make sure we are not making it too long or too short. So I'm going to push some of that excess to the back, make sure I have it still in the form and shape of an almond nail, and then I will simply apply more acrylic if I need that tip to be longer, or I will stay at the shape that I am. So I did see that it was a little shorter. I'm just going to go in with more acrylic and build that tip up. It's okay if it's a little bit off shape, or not off shape but maybe bulky, because you do have the power with your e-file to get that nail back in shape. So I did see that I had some excess acrylic underneath the bottom once I added more to the tip, but that's okay, because once you finish filing and finish buffing, it will look brand new. So I'm going to zip it unless I'm needed. I won't say anything because I want you guys to watch. I am a visual learner and I want you guys to watch without having to hear me. As you can see, we have successfully reapplied that tip. It is still giving very smooth foundation, and after filing, you can see that it looks like it was never missing. And then I'm going to flip under the underside, and as you can see, where the nail tip stops and where we have created our new tip without having to take that whole nail off. I tried this on several clients and they are floored. They're like, girl, where you been all my life? Because normally they would take that whole nail off and you just brought it back to life. So now we have cleaned the nails up. We gave her a good hand scrub, and I'm going to go in and start with our design. For precise lines, I love to start by applying a matte top coat to all of the nails because I am going to do a half and half design. I do not want my immediate line to bleed into the cracks or anything of the nail that was there from buffing, so this just adds a smooth base for my gel designs. So I'm going to apply this matte top coat to all 10 of the nails, and I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds, and then we will get into the design. Now my inspo for this design is my client. She came in and said she wanted zebra nails, but make them pride. So what I'm going to do is do a half and half with the zebra design, and then I'm going to do a pride tip on the nails. So I'm going down each of the nails and simply applying a very straight white line, and I'm going to only paint half of this nail white. And I am using all Beetles brand polishes. I am a Beetles brand ambassador. If you want to order any Beetles polish or the brushes, I will have my money off code down below. Go over and get yourself some polish as well as the brushes. I only use Beetles brushes because they are very fine as well as flexible. I have not had any problems with them in the past 3 years. I know there are several other brands and companies out there, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm not going to look for anything new unless I know it's not serving me a purpose. So head on over to Beetles.com with my coupon code and get yourself some polish and some brushes and start creating art. This is a really highly recommended brand. I will not steer you guys wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the white halves to each of the nails, and I'm going to cure this step for 60 seconds before I apply my zebra stripes. Stay tuned. Now, when adding the zebra stripes, it is up to your artistic discretion. A lot of people like to go and just do the very straight lines all the way across, but I like to add a little dimension and a little flirtiness to the nails. So I'm just going to move my stripes every which way and make sure that it adds a little bit more oomph to the nail. So I am not taking these stripes all the way to the edge because I do not want it to move onto my nude section of the nail. So I'm just going to gently stop them right at the edge of the white, and I'm going to go all the way down the body of the nail with these stripes. So sit back and watch as I create these stripes and get you some practice on. If you want to upscale your look a little bit from just the straight white line, then get you some white polish and some black polish and just practice making like semi flames slash like squiggles. I don't know how to really explain it, but just give it a little curve. Like move your hand just a little bit so that it creates a flow. Because if you look at a zebra pattern, they are never just straight white lines. When I see the straight black lines, it gives me more of a tiger stripe than a zebra stripe. So go in and add a little flair to your zebra. I know we're in our zone watching the zebra stripes get applied, but if you have made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you. I know you're a part of my family, and I just know you have thumbs up this video. Thank you. And after applying all of my zebra stripes, I did cure them for 60 seconds. And now I'm going to go in with my Kiara Sky top coat and apply that on all of the fingers. Prior to doing my rainbow Frenchies, I did want the bottom layer to be gloss, and I'm going to do the rainbow Frenchies in a 3D matte manner, so stay tuned to see how I achieve that. And yes, I am going to cure this top coat for 60 seconds as well. Now my tip for doing Frenchies is I love to start right at the edge of where the client's fingers stop, and I will just let my brush guide my swoop. So most of the times it's in the right place. I've done Frenchies for so long that I could just go in and make that line, but that is a helpful tip. Start your curvature where the client's finger meat stops. If you can see where that red line starts, that is at the base of her finger meat, and starting your Frenchie there would always yield a aesthetically pleasing Frenchie for that client's hand. So sometimes we can do the Frenchie too deep or too, long, and it just does not look like it fits that client's hand. Try to use the finger meat as a guide, and I promise the Frenchie will just look like it fits their hand. And not only am I doing a half Frenchie, I'm going to take that same color and continue the Frenchie on the other side, but I will not fill it in. So it will leave that gap of you being able to see the zebra stripes, but it'll also look like a complete French tip. I thought it was a really cool design. I did see an inspo picture on Instagram, but it was with two main colors, so I thought, hey, let's do a little wild style and do the same technique but in my method. So that is another tip. If you see inspo out here in the world and you want to create a set, be the artist that you are and kind of mix it up a little bit. You don't want to take a picture or a set and do exactly what you see, because then that comes off as plagiarizing. I know it is, we are inspired by everything that we see, but you still want to make a set unique to your style. So if it's not your style, your clients can tell and they can see confusion in your work. And you may or may not, you may miss out on a client opportunity just for them not understanding it. So make sure you are always yielding these sets to your style. Like if you see a set, it's a 9-luck set, because I'm going to always put my touch on this set. With being a nail artist, there are no rules. The only rule is make sure you're having fun, make sure that you are listening to your clients for what they do and don't like, and simply they trust you. So a lot of my clients book a freestyle, and when they do, I know they're giving me the opportunity to be as creative as I can. So do not limit yourself. It's just polish, and there will always be an opportunity to try again. So I know you guys are wondering, what exactly am I doing? This is the matte 3D method. All you have to do is apply your gel polish, as I am with my Frenchie, and then go over it with clear acrylic. I am using Mia Secret clear acrylic. I do not use any colors. I don't use nude or white or any color acrylic to do this. You can if you want to try it out, but it works perfectly with clear acrylic. And I'm just making sure I get that clear acrylic over all of the gel polish, and then I'm going to cure it as is. And once you are done, you brush that off and it is a 3D matte. I did learn this trend during the winter time when everyone was going crazy over the sweater nails, and I just assumed, hey, let's try it with other designs. So even if I do a flower, you can do several other designs and put the acrylic on it, and it will give it a 3D matte effect. So use this technique and go wild with it. After applying all of my color Frenchies, I did do a different color on each finger. I cured each finger in between for 60 seconds as I worked on another finger on the opposite hand, and then I'm just going to go in with my dusting brush and remove all of the excess. So if you see the acrylic and you feel like it's going to mess up your gloss layer that you used, it's not going to. The only thing I recommend is you use a non-slip top coat. If you use a top coat that has a slip layer, it will be a hot mess. The acrylic will stick to that top coat, so make sure you are using a non-wipe top coat. And here we have it. I'm just going to clean up the rest of her nails and apply us some bling, and that will be the finish of this set. They are so beautiful. I always do nails how I would want my hands to look. and I definitely wish these were my hands. So with applying my bling, I do use my extreme diamond gel, and I just use this dotting tool that I use only for this gel, and I only apply the gel in the areas that I want to apply my stones or anything that I want to stay on the nail. So as you can see, I did a small line around the cuticles, and then I did just a minimal drop in the center because the stone that I'm about to place on does have some unique shaping, and I wanted to make sure even the bottom under that shaping had glue. So I'm going to just apply some simple rhinestones to add just a little bling. I'm not going to add this to every finger. I just wanted to accent a couple of them, and we loved how it turned out. Now everything is cured and complete. I'm going to finish her hands off with some cuticle oil, and there you have it. If you stay tuned to the end of this video, thank you so much for being a real one. We absolutely love these, and don't forget to tune in on my other platforms because I will be posting these pictures. Until next time, don't forget to follow my socials.